Kristen from KristenOnDemand.com, and on this channel you'll find videos all about teaching ESL online and teaching online in general. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell so you don't miss a thing. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the major differences that I see personally between Vipkid and Magic Ears. Yeah, I've been teaching on Magic Ears now for about a month, and I have taught with Vipkid for, I think I'm on my 4th contract now. So I'm going to be going over some major pros and cons to each company. So let's dive in. So one of the first and most noticeable differences, biggest differences between the two companies is the student to teacher ratio, right? So Vipkid, strictly 1-to-1, right? One teacher, one student in class. That's pretty much all you're going to see. That's all I've ever seen on that platform. On Magic Ears, though, you can have one teacher with up to four kiddos in class. So have I taught classes on Magic Ears with one student? Yes, I have. And I know Magic Ears has rolled out new curriculum where they're starting to do more one-on-one things. And a lot of times when I teach upper level students, I will see a little bit more one-on-one or two-on-one. And sometimes students just don't show up for class, which will cause you to have, one teacher to 2 students or one teacher to 3 students. But the platform itself and the curriculum itself is typically designed for one teacher, 4 students, unless you're seeing that new curriculum, like I just said, that's for 1-to-1. That is one of the biggest differences that I've seen between the two companies. With that said, with Vipkid, with all the levels that you teach, right? If you want to teach level 1, if you want to teach level 2, 3, 4, right? You have to certify to teach in these levels on Vipkid. It's not that way on Magic Ears. On Magic Ears, once you are a teacher on their platform, you just can teach any and all levels. All the levels, all the supplementary classes, all the trial classes, you can get anything, right? So you can go from teaching a level 1 class to a level 7 class, a level 6, level 5, anything and everything that they have on their platform, you could potentially get booked for. And that's very different when I was coming from Vipkid, because if I didn't want to teach level 6, if I'm like, oh, this really isn't my thing, then I just wouldn't get certified in it and I never get booked for a level 6 class. Again, not that way on Magic Ears. You are certified for everything and you can get any and every level on Magic Ears. One of the biggest things that I like about Magic Ears is they use an app. It's kind of like WeChat called Ding Talk, and you have direct access to a coaching team, a staff that is devoted to you. I mean, they're probably work with lots of other teachers too, but that you can message, talk to, video chat with. You have a success manager that you can message, talk to in real time. I mean, there's obviously lags in time between, my time in the US and they're on Beijing time, but I can talk to these people. I can reach out to them. I had a bad class, or this happened, that happened, but I can reach out to someone real in the Magic Ears team and speak to them. And it's not like so impersonal as sending a ticket and getting a generic response. These are real people that you can reach out to and talk to about your issues and get real responses from people. And that's something I really, really, really like about working with Magic Ears. It's so genuine, and all the people there are so, everything that they say and everything they do is very, very heartfelt. And you really feel that going to their company. I think that Vipkid has that, but they've just gotten so big that it's hard for the teachers to feel that, whereas Magic Ears is still much, much smaller, so the teachers still feel that warmth. Bookings are a lot different between the two companies. So on Vipkid, you kind of have to market yourself to the parents, right? You want the parents to like how you teach because they're the ones who are booking you at the end of the day. You want your regulars, you want the students to come back and keep booking you over and over, because when that frenzy comes, it's the parents that are booking you, and you want to be booked, a couple weeks out to know that you have those bookings. Now, it's not that way on Magic Ears. On Magic Ears, parents don't book you. The company does. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's 4 kids in a class, and so it would be just very confusing for, you know, parents to be booking teachers and all of that. But with that said, you know, you don't have bookings 2 weeks out. So that to me gives a lot more, you know, my schedule is a lot more fluid. So if I need to cancel classes 2 weeks out, it's, you know, it's not like my schedule's permanently booked that far out. You know, I can do that. And so confirmations of classes on Magic Years goes out at 10 o'clock Beijing time the night before. That's when you know that that class is either booked for sure or it's not booked. And, you know, on Vipkid, it's you know, technically booked 2 weeks out. I mean, it can change. I guess they can change on both. But confirmations for Magic Years are sent 10 o'clock Beijing time the day before. That's how you know that class is set in stone and that's locked in place. Now, if it were to cancel after that, you would still be paid just like you would on Vipkid. We can talk about payment a little bit. So payment between the two companies used to be very similar. Payment with Vipkid, base pay, I think, with the two companies is still relatively similar. Magic Years just kind of changed how they did their base pay. It used to be very uniform, and they've just recently changed how they're doing it. Vipkid has always just kind of had this more fluid base pay system. But as far as incentive pay goes, Magic Ears is, in my opinion, better than what Vipkid has going on currently. They've recently changed how they do their incentive pay, and I think Vipkid no longer gives base pay raises. They think that what they're doing with their incentive pay is sufficient. I personally disagree. Magic Years still gives base pay raises, and you're potentially eligible for those every contract, which is something that I've never seen on any other platform. And you're eligible for base pay raises up to $11 base pay on Magic Years, which again is something I've never seen on any other platform. Every other platform I've worked for is you're eligible to base pay raises up to $10. So with Magic Years, it's up to $11. So I think the pay potential on Magic Years is better than Vipkid. I also personally think that the Magic Years platform is just a lot more fun. When you have up to four kids on a screen and a teacher, you know, all of the little video boxes for the kids and for the teacher, you can move it all around. There's games, there's music, it's just so fun and interactive, and it has to be, right? To keep everyone engaged and moving and going the whole time. I just think it's a lot more fun. I used to leave my Vipkid classes having fun, and I was always an energetic teacher. But I can have that energy on Magic Years and just leave just feeling like I had fun, and the classes just fly by on Magic Years. Whereas the Vipkid classes felt like 25 minutes. They felt like they were fun, but they felt like 25 minutes. The Magic Years classes are fun, but they feel like, you know, it's 25 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I was in class for 10 minutes. So I just think that the curriculum and the platform does a really good job of engaging everyone in a way that the class just feels like we're having fun and we're learning the whole time, and class just flies by. Feedback on the two platforms is also very different. So on Vipkid, you write your feedback, it's written feedback. And on Magic Years, you talk, right? You say your feedback. So feedback on Magic Years is you have to say it for all of your up to 4 students, just a voice recording anywhere from 20 to 60 seconds. That's how they do their feedback. So the feedback is, again, very different. Written versus voice recording. Also, how you get rated is a little bit different too. So on Vipkid, I could have a student leave me Apple feedback months, maybe a year later after the class, right? It's like, oh, Bao remembered this class a month later and gave me feedback. That's awesome. On Magic Years, it's really not that way. You the student leaves feedback before they leave the platform after your class. So if you leave class and you refresh your screen, you will see feedback almost instantly after class. And from what I've been told, I don't really think that they can go back and do it later. That's just really not common for them to do. It's like if they're going to leave you feedback, they're going to do it right after class before they leave the platform. So that is also different from Vipkid because I was used to potentially getting feedback days, weeks, months later. And on magicears, it's like you're getting it right after class. Another thing that's different is trials or trial students. So on Vipkid, a lot of times, almost every time, trials are done, right? They're trials. They just are trials because you're one-on-one. On magicears, you could have a trial class. They do have actual trial classes that are made up. They are specific curriculum for trial students. They're all trial students, but you can also have trial students that are kind of sprinkled in with a regular class and regular curriculum with regular students. So that's a little different too. So you can have, and I have taught specific trial curriculum to specific trial students on magicears, but I've also had trial students that are sprinkled in with the regular curriculum with regular magicears students as well. So that's a little bit different than on Vipkid when you know that you're teaching a trial student, trial curriculum, and you just know that they haven't signed up yet for sure. So a little bit different. I should also note that on Vipkid, you would get potentially paid for a trial conversion, right? If you were to convert that trial student into being a Vipkid student, you do not get anything like that on magicears. If a trial student on magicears converts and becomes a magicears student, you do not get compensated in any way for that happening. But it does factor in to your ranking, to your OPV, right? To your teacher ranking. So you want that to happen. That is good for your OPV, but you don't get compensated in any way. Also on magicears, you are required to use 2 props per lesson, and that I do not believe is a requirement on Vipkid. However, on magicears, you are not required to use a secondary reward system, and on Vipkid, you are. So that is also different. The 2 prop thing, I'm still getting used to because I wasn't a huge prop user as a Vipkid teacher, but I love not having to prepare a secondary reward system. So that I do like. Okay, and I think I've hit all the major differences between the 2 companies. If there's something I've missed, something you think of that I've missed, something big, go ahead and pop it in the comments below or shoot me an email or hit me up on social media and let me know you've missed this. But if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more videos like this, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.